Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
And let's see what AIRO has. I do know it kicked out a few alerts right at the top of the hour, right at 9 o'clock actually. So there's a few things that we can take a look at already. Bitcoin 1 hour. That's the first one I've seen. That's the first one that I'm going to look at. I think I had it up at one point, but not anymore. Come on, click on the right one. Open chart, new chart. Excuse me, my allergies are going absolutely crazy, guys. The Ohio Valley. All right, my guy Daniel said Bitcoin gave an alert on the 1 hour. All right, so we've got the bounce off of our zone right here. We're inside our money zone. Here's the arrow. It should go, right? This is on the 1 hour time frame. So since that's on the 1 hour time frame, this is the chart I would use for my structure. Okay, would I get in this immediately? I'll drop to a lower time frame just to see if there's a possibility for a slight retracement. And there looks like there is a possibility, right? So the 1 hour alert came. We're ready for it to buy. Hold to this zone possibly, but let's go to trading view and see what we can put together with Sherpa. And then I'll take a look at the US 32 as well. So before we trade, guys, what I like to do is try to do is gather any type of news releases that's going to be expected in the future, right? The 10 o'clock news is coming around here in the next 45 minutes. So we'll be paying attention, especially to the pending home sales, only because that's got to do with the home sector of our economy, which is kind of a precursor or a telltale sign of what could come. All right. After that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's see what is happening. All right. Excuse me. So, as I mentioned to you guys yesterday, these lines are institutional support and resistance levels based off of a price point, right? Not necessarily based off of the candles, but they're based off of price. So what we see happening right here, guys, is price, came down, like we said yesterday, since it broke down. Now we've got a retest to this same structure that it broke beneath right here, right? I would consider this a retest. Now, as a bigger picture, you've got a shoulder, head, and a possible shoulder. To confirm that, what I have to do, guys, since this is on the 1 hour, I have to go at least to the 4 hour, but preferably the daily. So that way I'm trading in a line with the proper momentum. Okay, because remember that alert came from the hour. That alert said buy on the hour, right? So looking at the 4 hour, I'm confident enough to say that this wick right here, this pin bar, is a low. That pin right here created a low. This made a higher low than this low. Now we're all the way up here with another higher low and another higher low. So what has to happen or what should happen is the bull pressure. It has to be enough pressure to bust through this institutional level right here. And honestly, depending on what type of or how good or bad that news at 10 o'clock is for the housing sector for the United States dollar, that honestly could be that catalyst, that fundamental catalyst that gives us the volume and the momentum to bust through that. All right. Um, so what I want to do again is take a bigger picture out or zoomed out picture, even on the daily chart, right? And here I can see my engulfing candle, my low, another higher low, and then everything since then has been bullish. It's all stuff that we want to see, guys. That confirms that hey, there's probably a lot more upside, even higher than the 1 hour time frame. That's what I do when I look at the higher time frames. Take a bigger picture, because yeah, we can enter this buy right now, but is it worth it just to collect, what 10 15 pips or something like that if it's not going to continue up? Because with this hour buy, guess what? You've got like a 20 to 40 pip stop loss, guys. So you want to be sure that you're going to collect a minimum, I would say, of 20, right? A minimum of at least 20. So depending on this 15-minute chart, I'm going to find an entry. Okay. So we start from this high, we go to the low. What I'm looking for at this time is, can I identify Elliott wave? Can I see a ABC correction? Something like that, something of the sort, right? Excuse me. And already what I see, for you guys who aren't versed, here's how I'm going to mark it up. Let me see. Oh, no, 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 no. This long wave A is the complex wave. And what I mean by complex is it has its own set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all. Okay. So after this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this ABC correction, we expect to buy. All that momentum, all of that, guys, says, yo, go long. I'm confident in entering the long right now, actually, on Bitcoin. Excuse me. I'm going to keep it conservative. I'm going to do something conservative on this one. All right, so I've already entered in long, guys, on Bitcoin. Again, I cannot tell you where your stop loss or your TP goes. That's for you to determine. All right, but I am long on Bitcoin. All right, and then somebody said U30. All right, so here's the thing with U30. All right, it hit the buy arrow right here, but we're already in this sell zone. So that's not something that I'm necessarily going to take just off of the bounce arrow go strategy or anything like that. So again, what I want to do, I think that alert came in on the hour. He said, what I want to do is take a zoomed out, a bigger picture look, right? See where is everything going? Because I see the bullish momentum, but we're already here in this zone, so I don't want to just enter, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to Trading View. I'm gonna analyze this for you. All right. That's wild. Get you off, get you off. Boom. Get you off, get you off. All right, so here's where we're at. Here on the daily chart, I see price could head up to this half point right here, this midpoint. That's a lot of pips on this index. We can't really see that, or well, yeah, definitely on the hour. We can't really see that or really take notice on the hour time frame unless we zoom out like this. So that way we can actually kind of see what's going on. So instead of doing that, I like to use the bigger time frame. which 4 hour looks kind of similar. I'm actually long on U30. I would at least definitely long on U30. So I'm gonna start from this low, go to this high, see this retracement, and then we'll pop it up. All right. I'm gonna give it to you guys real quick of what I see. All right. So starting from this low here on the 4 hour, what I recognize first is my retracement right here and my retracement right here. That's what I see. Okay. So if we go, again, this fifth wave should tend towards equality with either wave 3 or wave 1 to kind of predetermine. We use our fibs. So since this is a 382 bounce, normally what happens off this 382 bounce, it produces a 1-to-1 move with the previous wave. So I can expect this move that's coming up to be somewhere in the same length as wave 3. All right. And what that actually is, or what it's called, is I like to call it market geometry or market symmetry. The market likes to keep a balance, guys. Okay. So this red line is where I would feel confident with my TP on this, honestly. But I'm long. I'm entering long on U30. Put you right there. All right. So far, guys, we're up. We're up on Bitcoin. We're up. Or if you entered in U30 with me right now, you'll probably hit a little bit of drawdown, but it'll teeter-totter between being up and things of the sort like that. Good morning so far. Good morning. Right. Let's keep it going. Let me check the chat real quick. Correct, Miguel. Correct. On so that's something I have noticed about the U30 as well. So 9:30, guys, Eastern Standard Time is when no problem, you guys are welcome. 9:30 is retail market opening. I mentioned earlier, I mentioned yesterday about a pre-market dealing hours. Those come in between about 6:30 a.m. and in between now. Yeah, the market open is a little bit dangerous. So what people don't know is that the equity house in New York is what pops off at 9:30, right? And that's what causes a lot of the volume to come, because they've already done the pre-dealing, pre-market hours that we don't really know about. We'll see the setup in the form of either a consolidation or a retracement that will tell us, yo, hey, okay, cool, they're just willing and dealing right now. That setup and that retracement is to get people to bite in the opposite direction, people who aren't versed in the market, right? So like Miguel said, expect that spike, but long story short, I'm still long on it end of the day though. So just understand that you could hit a little bit drawdown with U30, okay? Let me see. How do you determine which low to start from? That's a good question. So I always start, like I said, guys, I always try to find my retracements first, right? And just by looking at, this is a move right here. And then of course, this is the retracement, right? After this retracement, there's always a swing point set. Okay. Those swing points are going to be where you anchor your fibs and where you start your Elliott wave count and things like that. So in order to do that, you have to just identify your swing high, your swing low, find your retracement, and then should be able to look from this low to where it currently is and identify whether or not this is a retracement or this is a retracement. If that's the case, then you know this whole thing right here is a trend. So you should be able to fib from this low to this high, catch this, measure this retracement, have some predetermined take profit levels. Excuse me. So hopefully that helped you out, Christy. All right, so let's go back to AIRO. Let's see what AIRO's doing real quick. What else is going to call for us this morning? Let's see. Okay, 1 hour. German 30 on 15-minute for a buy. NAS 100. Yeah, I've heard there was talks about that, Miguel, but I'm not too sure when all that's going to happen though. That's wild. Let's check out German 30. I think I have it somewhere down here. I lied. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me check out these questions real quick. Yeah, we did the US 30 long, Garvin. And then I'll check gold for you too. So we're going to look at German 30, gold, and whatever else you guys want to look at. Let me see. The Bitcoin was a buy. Wait, I believe it was a buy. Let me check it out real quick. Pretty sure I entered in a buy. Yeah, it's a buy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So check out German 30 and gold was what I found. So let's see what AIRO has on German 30 and gold. Let me see. Was there an AIRO on German 30 on the 15 or the hour, I believe somebody said? Ah, 15. Come on, get out of there. Oh, man. So check this out. In our money zone, we have the bounce off our zone. Here's your arrow, and now it's going, right? So what do you do now? Do you just continue to follow it, or do you wait for the retracement to happen, right? Me personally, I wait for the retracement to happen before I just enter, okay? This is on the 15-minute chart. I do feel like there is a lot of upside to it, especially up to here. But that doesn't mean it's just going to necessarily haul its ass all the way up there. Excuse my language. Notice, guys, we're at a lot of structure right here, okay? From here all the way over, structure at the top of our money zone too. So what I want to do is take a bigger picture look, right? Always zoom out. The 1 hour showing a heck of a lot of upside to it. Honestly, I like it for a buy. I like German 30 for a buy too. I think I may enter in just a small conservative one. And then I'll do a stop loss down here. I see a lot of potential upside, guys, to the German 30. And the reason why I say that is because I'm looking from this low to this high. And I'm looking at this as a retracement. So let's take a look at that. For hour got a lot of upside too. All right. So from this low coming up to this high, Elliott wave isn't super clear, okay? Due to this long diagonal right here, which in fact has a sideways type of movement to it. So here's how I'm going to do this, guys. Here's how I'm going to paint this one for you. We got the sideways movement right here, and then you got wave 5. Okay. The reason why I feel confident with that, even though it's got a diagonal, because wave 5, wave 3 kind of tend towards equality as far as their movement in price. 2 is a steep, 4 sideways. After that, we see the A, B, C retracement. After the C happens, guess what? C never broke the low of wave 4. Now we've got that bullish momentum that we want to see, right? So where is it headed to? Again, we go to a higher time frame, we see hella upside, right? Here you can kind of see the ABC correction bouncing off the 50 moving average. Now we've got a bullish engulfing 4-hour candle, something that we want to see, something that lets us know that the bulls have gained that control once this candle closes, right? So it's, and if and when this candle does close like this, guys, honestly, the next 4-hour candle, you possibly could expect just a little bit of drawdown where to come back to this structure right here just to retest it before popping back up if it doesn't continue to go up. I'm just giving you different scenarios to be prepared for. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you always want to be prepared for stuff when you're speculating the markets. So definitely took German 30 long. We're up on some pips, guys. Super up on some pips. Appreciate you, Bitcoin and U30, right? German 30 will probably come around as well. And somebody said, let's speculate gold. I don't know if there's an AIRO on gold or not, but let's find it out. Let me see. Be mindful, guys, that news is going to be released at 10 o'clock. Okay. What's going on, Mr. Gold? I think there might be an arrow that'll probably pop up in this section here in just a second. So 1 hour on gold. We're in a money zone. We're inside supply and demand zone, money zone. Arrow saying up though. We see some bearish pressure. What do? I'm going to go to the charts and analyze it. That's what I'm going to do. So we'll go to trading view. Before I continue, let me get to these questions real quick. Yeah, I entered in buy on German 30. How would you interpret NOS 100 in the 1 hour? Have 4 equal zones. Price action. Alberto, price action. And I'll show you in just a second. So I need to go ahead and repay for my subscription. Let me zoom out real quick. Going off, so the question was, how do I know which way to go when there's equal red and green zones on the charts, on the 1 hour and the 4 hour and so forth, right? The answer to that, guys, is to go off of price action. At that point, if you're confused as far as like the zones, that's the only thing you really have to go off of is the price action. And if you're not real versed at price action or anything like that, then that's something that you would just honestly stand aside until a clear enough for you setup presented itself. But I go off of price action more. I would say I go off of price action more than an indicator or anything like that sort of say, because price action honestly is king. They always say naked trading is the best form of trading, but and that doesn't mean arrow doesn't help or anything like that, but that just means, hey, if you can use your price action, let's say you might second guess yourself, arrow's there to pick that up for you, and it has caught me sometimes, and honestly, like I said yesterday, it smacked my hands. It's corrected my price action. It's pretty phenomenal. So, but that's what I would recommend if you ever get stuck. Just try to hone in on some price action. And again, the book that I said yesterday was the Japanese Candlestick Bible. It's a pretty good, phenomenal book to get your basics on price action, you know, solidified and worked up and trained up and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'd choose price action on that one. Let's go to gold. I think I have gold marked up over here. That's wild. Boom, chat. Um, I believe the name is. I'll double check for sure. All right, so let's check this out. Actually, this is something that we looked at yesterday. Let me zoom in. See these TP levels? This is what I was telling you guys. Those TP levels, right? We were saying it should bounce off the 382. Here are TP levels. Perfect. That was from yesterday. So we're still in that same spot on our TP levels, right? What's going to happen? We don't know. It looks like it should be stalling out at some type of support level. Where is that support level? I will draw it on here. But before I draw it on here, I want to point out something to you guys. You see this structure right here? I'll even shade it in for you. That section right there, guys, is something that I would honestly recommend you guys start to train your eyes to look for, because that is structure. All right, that's an area of structure. Okay, so let me walk you guys through this from a price point or from a price action point of view. Okay, you've got this candle right here that initially set this high at the wick. Okay, more times than not, what will happen is people will see this and be like, okay, you know, it looked like it might be a short because of this wick, and these candles aren't passing the top of this wick. This is something that I teach you guys to look for. If this wick and there's candles closing in this wick, and you see it not passing this wick, this is something that you have to wait for. Okay, this is something that you have to wait for. All right. The reason why I say you have to wait for it is because there's two things that can honestly happen depending on the break of structure in this box. All right. So the first thing, if there's any type of bearish momentum inside this zone, you can expect honestly to short, especially if it breaks the low. All right. But look what happens. The second thing, this candle breaks this high. Okay. Not only that, it does kind of like a three candle break of structure rule at that high. Once you see the full thing, look at this retracement to this high. After that, these bear candles, guys, even though it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of a bear trend, they had no momentum or too much pressure with them before finally hitting this engulfing. Okay. So this setup, when you guys are looking at trends and you want to see, and you see like an inside return and you don't know where that inside return could possibly return to, always pay attention to your trend, because these little areas right here, they give you telltale signs of structure. And honestly, if I go to a 15-minute time frame, you got it'll point it out to you. Boom. So this is just all little tips and secrets, guys, that I'm going to be bringing to you guys hopefully in the future, man. So, but let me get back to gold. I'm sorry, I just had to point that out for you guys. So because currently this structure is where we're finding a little bit of a resistance or some support. I'm sorry, right? We got to bounce. We got to bounce. Some bear momentum with a bounce. So what do you do in this aspect? You honestly, you sit on your hands and you wait. Okay, you have to wait for this hour candle to close, because if this engulfs it completely, then you'll have a lot more selling pressure. But if it closes how it is, even though it did engulf this pin bar, guess what? You see this low right here. So this is the candle that set the first low. This is what you have to go off of. Not only that, you also have prior structure right here, right? That none of these hits, every time a heavy hit towards it, bounced off. Heavy hit, it bounced off. Another heavy hit that looks like it's bouncing off, right? You just have to stand aside. You have to just be patient. Now, the bigger picture says, it's got some selling pressure still in it a little bit more. But again, it's current. We just have to wait for an opportunity to present itself clear enough. Okay. Um, 15 in 3 minutes. I think you know what? I want to buy this so bad. I honestly want to buy it so bad, but man, it's not there for me. I want to see the buy. It's just not there for me just yet. Okay, this is something I'm still going to stand aside on, especially with that news that's coming out for the United States dollar here at 10 o'clock. Because if it goes, if the housing sector is bad, then it's going to make gold shoot up. If it's good, it'll make gold shoot down. And honestly, what I'm expecting, I want to buy it, but at 10 o'clock, I expect one more heavy push down before that push up. And the reason why I expect that is because market symmetry or market geometry, where A and C will probably tend towards equality in this ABC retracement. So I expect a false move down and then it'll pop up. I'm not going to trade gold though. Okay, do you look at the dollar index when looking at gold? I'll look at the dollar index and I'll look at the VIX, depending on what I'm speculating and things like that. Since this is gold, it would be wise to honestly check out the dollar index just to see what's popping with it, right? And even on the dollar index, I'm still on the daily time frame because I want to see a bigger picture. Looking at this dollar index, what I'm seeing is a lot of support. Boom, boom, boom. All of this engulfing with this spinning top or this doji right here. So if we go to a lower time frame, we should be able to identify price action a little bit better. With this retracement bouncing off of here, and with this looking like it still wants to go long, gold still should have some short pressure to it. So what I've pulled up down here, guys, is two indicators that I use to judge a couple of different things. Okay, I use these at different times as well. One's the MACD at default settings, and then one's the RSI. The MACD is what I use to judge momentum and who's in control of the trend. And then the RSI is what I use for my entry chart. So what I'm looking at right now on the 4 hour is the MACD to try to see who's still in control. So far, the MACD is saying the bulls are still in control. Price action is saying the bulls are in control. We've got this bull move, this sell pressure that had no momentum whatsoever in the current chart. So to me, bulls are still in control, and the market is honestly waiting for this 10 o'clock housing sector move. So that's what we will wait on for the gold move is 10 o'clock. Excuse me. Got some questions I'll get to. Yeah. What book you into? What type of house? Alberto, can you send me that link on Facebook if you're not. Well, actually, let me check this out real quick. I'll pull that up. I'll pull that up and I'll let you know in just a second. And then Garvin asks, what impact the housing sector will have on the U.S. indices? Well, going back to the Ford's, coming back to a Ford's factory, right? Where'd it go? 10 o'clock. You see this orange folder? That's medium impact. There's only three types of impacts. You've got low impact is yellow, um, medium is orange, and then high impact is red. Now, because this is a medium impact, it's going to produce some type of movement, and because it's dealing with the home sales, that's a nice sector, guys, of our whole economic factor is home sales, right? I do know that there's about 30 something percent of the most valuable real estate in the United States right now that is remaining vacant. That's honestly a precursor to a telltale sign of what's to come in the future. So just thinking about that, knowing that there's still foreclosures and evictions that are on pause, right? When those things come back, that's something that you have to take in consideration with maybe a housing bubble collapse. Um, and honestly, looking at these numbers, it's been that trend, right? It's not going anywhere, guys. Look at all this red right here. People aren't really buying homes or anything like that too much. Not only that, I believe the banks a year or two ago honestly changed some of the criteria, made it a little bit more stringent to even get new homes. They increased the credit threshold where you get approved, I believe, as well. And there's a few other things that they did. So this is just all fundamental stuff that you have to consider when it comes to news releases like pending home sales and stuff like that, right? Excuse me. Can we check out Ethereum? Yep, we can definitely check out Ethereum. So let me get back over to these charts. Doom, 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 doom. Excuse me. Well, dang. All right. So I don't have Ethereum marked up. So let me see. Remove drawings. Boom. So here we have Ethereum, guys, right? We see this retracement, something we want to see that came to this structure. And then it had an engulfing three candle breaker structure. Now we're on the current day, which may honestly close as a hammer. If this daily, guys, listen, if this daily candle closes like this as a hammer, there's two scenarios that could possibly happen. All right. More than likely, it's going to be a buy type of situation, but this hammer is going to produce a lot of momentum. Okay. So just know that. All right. You just got to be on the right side of it. And I think the right side of it is going to be up for a few different reasons. All right. For a few different factors. Um, Let me do something real quick. And what I'm looking at, guys, is I'm trying to see what type of movement this thing has had over the last amount of data that it currently has. Because, of course, with this being crypto, it's new, super volatile market. You have to understand. I like to look at the bigger picture, and everything so far is saying to go long. So let's mark this up real quick. Line chart. That's a secret, guys. Okay, line chart. If you ever can't really identify like a retracement or a trend, listen. The line chart's going to be your best friend. It'll show you stuff way different. All right. So, because what I'm looking for Let's just see if I can see kind of Elliott wave cycle on it, where I see dun 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 dun. That's fine. And you got this move, this move, this move, this move, this move. Okay. So I think I identified it. Let me check this out for you. So from this retracement, you got this, 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 an extended wave before finally coming with some form of an A, B, whatever, right? Now this may not be correct, but I'm just trying to identify it. So looking at these candles though, that looks pretty cool to me, right? Where we got the A, B, extended wave C. After the C, didn't cross wave 4 low or structure. Now you got the reversal. That is crazy. All right. So that is what I'm looking at, guys. Okay. So since this is a C, this is the bullish return from C. I'm expecting this thing to go long. Now, does that mean there won't be a retracement from this low to this, wherever this current high is? No, there could be a retracement, which would create a higher low, which would give us a discounted price to get in on that. So now it just becomes about finding the perfect opportunity to get in, or the perfect area, I should say, to get in, right? So at this high to this low is in fact the ABC correction, but understand that from this high to this low had its own set of Elliott wave. That's what I call um, a complex wave, right? Where you'll have this, this, this. Okay, that's what I mean by a complex or an extended wave. Excuse me. So let's mark up this structure real quick. What I want to do, or what I want to pay attention to, guys, is from this structure point right here. Okay, this structure point right here to the low of this wick right here. All right, that's where I want to start. And the reason why I want to start right there is because from this high to this low, that's the most recent bearish trend that this is creating the inside return to. Okay. Now, understanding that also from this high to this low, this has its own set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This high is the high of wave 4. This structure has to be broken in order for it to continue up. Okay. It has to be broken. Now, here's a few things though. Notice this retracement right here. I have to zoom in on this because this is some nuggets right here. When it comes to price action, guys, oh, appreciate you. When it comes to price action, guys, um, when it comes in terms of using the wicks, guys, the wicks are telltale signs of what is to come. Okay, so for instance, notice how this candle has a long wick at this resistance, right? These candles have no or little wick at that same resistance. This formation right here is a telltale sign of what could come. Because again, unless this bull run right here breaks above this, we're looking at a short side. Okay, because this isn't an engulfing candle. All right. Whenever you guys see these candles like this with no wicks, you have to immediately think that there's some type of support or resistance right there. Okay, and to identify that, you'll have to look to the left. You'll have to drag to the left just to see what's going on. Okay, another example: no wick towards the top, right? No wick towards the top, right? If that blue line wasn't there, look at that. Look how clean that is, guys. That's price action that you guys have to be able to identify coming up in the future. Okay, this is what you all have to be able to pick up on. Okay, so that's some little price action tips and tricks for you. Now, this is how we use this though. Little to no wick at this high off of structure, off of resistance with an engulfing candle. Okay, yeah, it engulfed, but it didn't break this structure right here. So in this instance, I would wait for this pullback to happen to see if it's going to hit that gather that momentum to bust through it. Because if it doesn't, like I said, guys, you're going to go to the low side. With this being 4 hour structure, I would click on the 30-minute using Sherpa so I can get a better picture or a better view at the price action of what's going on. Okay. So looking at this, and this. Before I continue, let me answer these questions real quick. Correct. I use a 50 EMA on my charts. Christine, correct. So, the general rule with Elliott Wave, guys, is it's a 5 wave trend with a minimum of a 3 wave retracement. Okay. Now, the 5 wave trend can be extended towards 6 or 7 waves in a complex type of environment. Same with the retracements. It can be extended going from ABC to ABCDEFG or XYZ type stuff, right? That's something I'll go over in some classes in the future. So I don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah, anytime you see like 5 waves, you can honestly almost more times than not expect an ABC retracement to some sort of degree. So here's what I'm seeing, guys. From this retracement right here, I can count the same 5 waves, right? One, two, three, 4, 5. Where waves 1 and 3 tend towards equality. And then after that, you've got from this high, A, B, C. Now, this is what's good. It's because after this ABC retracement, we still have another bull trend that failed to break that high. This is why we take a zoomed out picture on the 4 hour, come to the time frame correlation chart of the 30-minute to take even a magnified look at that price action. Because on this bull trend, little to no wick at this high, never broke it. You've got this engulfing. So now change of trend direction right here. Boom. All of this, y'all see how choppy that bull momentum is in comparison to this last move right here. That's something we have to pay attention to. So this whole area, guys, honestly, might be waiting for this 10 o'clock news to be released. And if this candle can't break above this blue line right here, you're looking for the short side still. So with this being like this, I'm not going to take a trade on Ethereum, but I'm going to wait till 10 o'clock. So just a second. All right, cool. 1 minute left. Yep, 1 minute left, guys. So the news releases. And then I would say probably about the first 5 minutes or so, if not immediately, you might see some heavy news. Some heavy movement in the market. So let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens at 10 o'clock, right? Let's see. This is something we took a look at yesterday. I believe we set a pending order right here, and this candle would have activated it, and you'd be in the money a little bit. So I'm not going to touch this or anything like that, but let's see how it plays out, though, right? This is good. This is interesting. Let's see. 1 hour candle. Oh, yeah. This is definitely what I want to see. That's wild. Hey, Looney Cat. Yeah. You cat, man. Yeah, so like I said, this is something we marked up yesterday, guys. It's May take a little minute to play out. This is our entry zone, right? If I was to drag that over, I'll review it for you real quick. What I did was fill from that high, where were we? Oh, I think it was right there is what I did it. In between uh, the 618 and the 886 is where I prefer to enter. But with this structure right here, this blue line, I think we set a pending order right here at this 4. Expected this to set the wave 4, right? And then pop up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. German 30 playing around a little bit. Uh-oh. Actually, let's go back to AIRO. That's gold. Get you off of there. German 30. Yeah, that's okay. Just a little bit of drawdown. Yeah, it's playing just a little bit. Just a little bit with us, huh? So what I would say is from this low to this high, if we retraced, it'll probably come back down in between this zone. Where could I do a line? So in between, oh come on now. So from like right here where it's currently at, and at the low side right here where my stop loss is where it could retrace to, which will give you another uh, opportunity for an entry to bust it up long. So yeah, I'm still gonna hold that bad boy. Let's see what else we looking at. Odd Chef. Let's check you out. Wow. I think it was a buy situation on the 15 or the 30 minute inside the money zone. Shoo. What do we do in this situation, right? What do we do? Do we buy since it's already out here in the zone? This is on the 30 minute. I'm going to zoom out, take a bigger picture, right? Bigger picture says it has a lot of potential upside to it if it can get above the current structure where it's at right now. So what is this? Odd Chef? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Trading View, mark it up for you guys. Yeah, Christine. There is actually a place that where you can study Elliott Wave. There's a few different books and stuff like that that I do have on my computer that I can send to you. Also, I've got a class or short class that I teach as far as like some of the Elliott Wave that I teach in my course as well. So I can honestly send that to you. Um, Let me type this in the chat for you so that way whoever wants it can just like get a hold of me. Corey Collier on Facebook. DM me if you want the Elliott Wave book and video. Boom. Post a Sherpa. I think I might post a Sherpa eventually. Sherpa's pretty good, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna go over that with you guys one of these days. Like I told you guys yesterday, Sherpa is my strategy that I have pretty much created since about 2013. It started out with Luciano theory, and as I leveled up my trading expertise, my strategy leveled up along with it. So right now it's currently called Sherpa, and it's pretty badass, honestly. Uh-oh, boom. So yeah, if you guys We want that. Actually, hold on. Give me just a second. I might be able to drop something for you guys in here. Give me just a moment. I got a surprise for you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. I just posted, guys, day 4 in the chat. Okay. I just posted day 4 of Sherpa, which goes over the market cycle and Elliott wave um, for you guys. Okay. So you guys can, that video is 2 hours long, guys. Every video that is in Sherpa is about 2 hours long. So I just want to warn you. All right. So after this class, or whenever you guys get to it, just be sure to check out that link, the market cycle and movement. Let me see. Can't see it in the chat. Oh, really? Ah, okay, okay. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Sorry, guys. You guys see that now? Boom. There you go. So yeah, again, guys, that is 2 hours long. Okay. That's going to give you guys market cycle and movement from my point of view based off of Elliott wave and stuff like that. Okay. Um, there's other stuff that comes with that, but I'm not going to post anything like that because we're focused on AIRO and stuff like that right now. So, but again, if you guys want to learn how to do like a little bit of fib and a little bit of Elliott wave and stuff like that, please check out that video. And then you guys will probably be able to follow along with what everything I mark up too. So you guys are very welcome for that. That's just a little nugget for you guys right there. Let's see here. Boom. Very welcome. No problem, no problem. On that channel, guys, you'll see some older videos as well. So those videos are pretty good, but Sherpa's killing all that stuff. I will tell you that. Let's see. So let's see what we got on Odd Chef, right? Odd Chef was a buy on the 30-minute time frame. I think I was going to go to Trading View and pull it up for you. Yeah, a little bit of drawdown. See, Jeff. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Notice this is a fresh, clean chart, right? Fresh, clean chart. What I would like to do now is walk you guys through how I pretty much analyze charts without AIRO. Now, some of it may be a little bit time consuming, guys, but I promise you once